Hey everybody, welcome back once again. It's your girl Jasmine. So, how you guys been? Oh my gosh, it's been forever. It has been forever. I love you guys. I miss you guys, and I'm not ignoring you guys. I have not had a lesson in a while, and I want to update you guys on what's going on with me. I am actually going to New Orleans next week on Tuesday. I'll only be there for a few days, but I'm excited for the journey in which is ahead, which God is bringing me into for the next season. And so I got a scripture for you guys this morning because, when we think about faith, when you really think about faith and how faith is, sometimes, we step out on faith. And when we take the steps of faith, uh, I've had times where God told me what's going on in my life, and you've seen like a little bit of manifestation in what's going on. But, this time in this season of my life, when God is having me to step out on faith, like my whole situation is in ruins, yet God still wants me to step out on faith um, and do what it is that He needs me to do. So my situation doesn't look anything like what He's saying to me. And so, that's the hardest thing about faith is, going even though you don't know what's going to happen, or believing when you don't, you know if like what's ahead. Like, you just take the step of faith and you move forward. You don't know, but you're just believing God for the impossible. You're just um believing Him. So I kind of looked at that today, in Matthew 14, verse 25. It says, "And in the fourth watch hour of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the water. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, Be of good cheer, for it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be you, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on water to go to Jesus. So I think the whole, main bit of having faith is when God says come, you come and you walk in faith, and you just keep looking forward at what it is that God is trying to tell you to do, despite of what it looks like. When you continue on, it says, But when he saw that the winds were boisterous, he was afraid, and he began to sink, and he cried, Lord, save me. So we need to like focus on, not what it looks like, or what others are saying, but what God is saying. um, you know, because the circumstances don't always look like what it's going to look like when you're walking in faith. It's not called faith because it looks good. Faith is what? Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of the things not seen, unseen. You can't really see. God may give you a vision of what it may look like on the other side, but you have to keep walking forward and keep pressing forward until you reach that and what it is that God is showing you that it looks like. And I know this, for my life here, God was telling me for about 2 years, hi, I want you to move to Florida, and and here I am. I remember when I had my roommate, and God was like, "Look, you're moving," and I was like, "Okay." And here I am. I moved. I have my own condo, and it was God. He moved me. But you have to have faith. I mean, my circumstances didn't look like moving. Man, I had a 1 year lease, a roommate, and all the stuff that I needed to move across town. Um, and then I didn't even have a place to stay 5 days before I was supposed to move. And then all of a sudden, literally 5 days before I was supposed to move, I got this place. And that's the same day the landlord had contacted me and said, "Look, I need you to sign the lease. We're breaking your lease for you without any consequences, and we're going to write up a new lease for your roommate's new roommate." And, God's faithful. He's faithful, but you just have to trust that He's in control and He's going to do what He said He's going to do. Um, you know, that can be hard. That can be very hard on a lot of people. So I'm very excited to see what God's gonna do. I'm going to New Orleans. Um, I can't wait to try the good food. Like I want to try everything, like the crawfish and the beignets and the red beans and rice and the gumbo and all that stuff. I love that. I love it. Um, I want to hear some of the jazz, jazz for Jazzy. Oh, hey, Henny. So it should be nice. I'm very excited for my trip and to see what God has for me up ahead. I'm still praying on what's going to happen to me in the year to come. I don't know exactly yet. I'm still listening to God. Hopefully, it's not staying in Fort Lauderdale. If y'all didn't know, I live in Fort Lauderdale. Um, I've always said Florida, but Fort Lauderdale's nice. It's nice. It's very beautiful. But there's but. It's so overpopulated, and I know it's a great place to help people because there's so many people, there's so many struggles, there's so many people, um, but it's like I don't even like get out as much as I could say I could even help anybody because I'm always working. Like I'm working, so I see the same people every week, and I know that I have been ministering to them, and that's what counts, and being able to talk to them all individually and in some type of way or manner. I mean, I do meet different people. um, like the other day, I met some woman in the parking lot, and started talking to her. So, I mean, there's different ways that God allows me to still help, but sometimes you just feel like you're not as effective as you could be, or you're not doing everything you could, even though, I blog and I vlog and, not as much as I should, and I don't write my books as much as I should anymore because I'm so tired. um, but it's okay because God is still good and He's on the throne and He knows what He's doing in my life, and I'm just going for the ride. So don't be afraid to take that step of faith to move forward to where God is taking you in your life and in this season. I did a blog yesterday. It was talking about how it's now or never, and when you think about now or never, I talked about how faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now faith. It's now or never. Sometimes we have opportunities to step on in faith, take this chance of faith, and if we don't take the step of faith, it's never going to be an opportunity given to us again. It's one of those steps of faith where it's now or never. Take this step of faith, or the opportunity will be a closed door for you. You need to take the step now. So just remember, it's now or never. Take the step of faith. Come, walk on water. Follow where God is taking you, wherever it is that He's taking you. I love you guys so much. I'm about to make 3 loaves of banana bread this morning. So I will talk to you guys later. All right. Love you guys.